Hi, I have a quick announcement before we dive into today's episode. I've opened a few new spots for my 90-day program called the Inner Oasis, designed to help high-achieving women who are stuck in chronic stress and burnout to retrain their nervous system so that calm, sleep, and balance become their default, not a temporary break. I will be using a unique blend of sound healing, energy healing, and journaling. So if this is something you want support with, you can book a call at www.inneroasis.org or use the link in the description to get your personal 90-day recovery plan for free. Now, let's get into today's episode with my next guest. Hi, Isabelle.
Hello, my dear.
Thank you for coming to Align and Thriving. So happy to talk to you today. So you are a visionary holistic wellness expert. So we're going to talk about
Sounds
that.
good.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
And you're a fellow sound healer. I love this. So let's start from the beginning. Can you share the story, how you got your spiritual awakening, and how it led you to your work today?
Okay. Depends how far you want to go. As I look now, I realized in the last 40 years what was led me to here, right? It's hard. It gets harder to differentiate what aspect really led you to this moment in time for you. I don't know. For me, it seemed like some big events happened, but the longer I go, the more I look back, the more I see, oh, there's so many little moments that were just as important. It just looks like the big moment was the big moment, but really it's everything that led to it, that every step, every decision had an impact that led to the big moment. But I would say for podcast sake, the big moment was my son's birth. So before that, I was a assistant track and field coach and rehab specialist, sport nutrition, sport psychology. Um, I was doing body work called Chine Tsang. Um, yeah, everything was it was all health and fitness. And I loved it and I still do. And it's an amazing foundation of my life. And actually, all that I've learned through those decades really is leading to helping my clients now because all that information is very useful. Um, and I'm very comfortable with aches and pains and injuries because of it. So it's lovely. I also learned to work, I still do formulation with like health drinks. So I use mushrooms, herbs, adaptogens, and I do detox and shakes and all that. So it's all about health and well-being. So the only difference is now I'm much more the emphasis in the forefront seems to be what we call spirituality, the emotional, the mental, and the alignment that is so required for your well-being of your heart and your mind and your body. So I just flipped the script, or God flipped the script. So now it's less physically based, but all of that is an illusion. All of it is always just all of you. There's no separation. But when I gave birth to my son, I couldn't walk for about 10 to 12 years. Like I could barely walk. So something happened in the birth. I gave birth at home. And that literally changed my life because everything I was doing was so physical. And I also felt like a failure in terms of being a mother. So I thought I was going to be the athletic mother that had the kid on her back and would go hike. And so as a wife, as a mother, things were not the way I had pictured them to be. So I was spending many, many hours every day in my basement doing rehabilitation exercises, trying to fix myself because I was good at it. That's what I did for a living. Couldn't figure it out. Went from expert to expert to expert. Nobody could help me. Got really scared. Just didn't know what to do. And so we ended up in Kauai, my husband, me, and my son, who was very young. And I had a nanny so she could carry him. And they went to dinner. And I was in the bedroom on the floor with my legs on a chair. And it was my first prayer. So God was sort of around me, but in a very casual way. It was all good, you know? It's there, it's all good. It's not there, it's all good. So that was more how I was. But that night I did my first prayer, and I call it a sincere prayer, because I really surrendered. I really, like, my ego could not figure out what the was going on. And it just, I, I was so unable to fix or figure anything out that the prayer was a surrendered, heart based prayer where I said, I I was shriveling away, so I was in pain. Like, I won't go into the detail, but down there, and it was just a mess. And it was acute pain and chronic pain, 24/7. I went from almost 125, quite strong, to 102. Lost all my muscle mass. Had no appetite. Um,
And I'm sorry, were you like in a wheelchair, or do you have like crutches to walk? To walk?
I I didn't really like, basically what was happening is anytime I would try to walk or turn, or I swear if I step on a pebble, my sacroiliac would go way out. So one side was just out. And then it was just like a month on the floor trying to get back to it. Some moments I couldn't walk at all. Some I could maneuver kind of in the house, but anything and everything. Like if somebody barely, like, not not even push, just sort of, I would be like, "Oop," bam, my hips were off. Like,
And the doctor
just
couldn't figure it out.
could not figure out. Eventually, I did after 10 years. But at that point, it was pure desperation and pain, and failing as a wife, failing as a mother, not able to do the things that I love to do. I was so physical. And that prayer was just such a surrendered, that that was the moment where there was no ego. It just came in and my body started shaking. So I was on my tailbone and on the wood floor, and my upper and lower body were up in the air, just shaking. And it did that for 3 days, 3 nights, nonstop, nonstop. Now you would think I would be freaking out, but actually I could feel that it was good for me, and I felt completely at peace about it. Now I look back and it's almost a kind of somatic work. I was unwinding, and really what I was unwinding was fear. So I had a lot of fear in my body for most of my life. So that happened. Like if I thought, oh my God, I have to pee, it would stop. I would crawl to the bathroom, and on my way back, I would start shaking, and it would put me right back in that position. And there I would go. And the night before we had to leave Hawaii, is when it stopped. And I could feel there was a shift in me. And my husband asked me a question, and my upper body went up. And I said yes or no, I don't remember. And then I went back down. It's like, what just happened? He thought it was hysterical. So he literally spent at least an hour just asking me yes or no question, and my upper body would move each time. And eventually I said, oh my God, I wish I could just shake my head yes or no, because my abdominal muscles are just killing me right now. And he asked, I said, like, one more question. So he asked, and I didn't move up. I just shook my head yes and no. So I was like, oh my God, I think it's listening to me. So um, that world was not a known world for me. And so we went in the plane, and then I whispered, like, let's check if it's still with me. Ask me a question. And then he asked, and then my Ed answered. And I thought, oh my God, it came with me. It's going to come to California with me. And then, of course, the unfolding happened, the channeling happened. So it started to be more voice. Like my husband was asking questions and I could talk, but it was not integrated. So it was a bit of a different kind of voice. But then it integrated. And then it just became what I called is simply like a third arm, meaning that this wise voice that we all have exists just like a third arm, but we all assume and think that it doesn't. So we just use two, but we have a third one that we never used. And so to me, it was like my third arm just came on board, and that voice became just a calm, honest, wiser space that I could go to. Um, and it led me to people that could help me physically, and then it led me to eventually rehabilitation, and I was back on my feet after 12 years, I believe. It's between 10 and 12, but I think 10 solid, like lost, and then 2 years where I finally had a guy that, with his wife, that could really help me. So that was the real awakening.
Was it like a
Changed how I mothered my kid. What?
yeah. Was it like a doctor or was it
No,
somebody more?
he was a osteopath, but he was very well appreciated in this world of sport. So very used to a lot of injuries. But his wife, I don't know what she's an osteopath as well, but she has a specialty where she goes inside and put things back inside. So that's why nothing worked on the outside. As he says, your finger was caught in the door and everybody tried to fix the door, but you had to take the finger out, right? So she went inside and she put things back. And then he would put me on a device called the WAF, and then I would do exercise to try to teach my body to stay there in that solid place. And she would go back and put things back, and I would do some work. And that's this back and forth is what got me back on my feet. Bless their hearts. Yeah. I was told that in France, actually, that's an automatic thing, that in hospitals, there's a woman that goes and makes sure that nothing was pulled out of place after giving birth. But I don't do that here. That would have saved me 10 years.
So
But who
sometimes
knows?
everything, yeah, just came out when you gave birth and they didn't think about checking that. Okay.
Nobody does that here. So, so there. But, obviously there was a purpose because that was my first real surrender,
Mhm.
my surrendered state. Now I knew what that was. Um, and that's what led me more and more in doing what I do now, which I was channeling just for my family. Um, it really helped me raise my son. So my son, there was no ego. So it's funny, the world of spirituality is like any other area of life, right? There's ego can hijack the territory. So I see people having great vanity in the channeling, and who they channel becomes the thing. And you have to be careful. It's very tricky because you're not doing anything, right? You're just a conduit. Um, so I've watched that a lot now that I've been in it for so long, but because my son is 17 now. But I noticed that that was an aspect of soul, soul online, like this ability to access was something that he was raised with. So the soul aspect, channeling, automatic writing, to him, because he was a newborn, he was a baby, to him, it's just what we were. It was not this voice of that doesn't exist, we can't do that, or only special people do that, right? To him, it was, my husband called my guidance Soleil. So Danny Soleil was like a friend that he could ask questions and get honest answers. And at some point, because I wanted him to have access to his own. So at some point, I was like, just ask your guidance because we all have it. And he had never been told that you don't. So I've watched what it's like to be raised with more of an integration of the soul aspect online on a conscious level. And so when I told him that, he said, oh, okay. And he did. And I did that again with automatic writing. He was asking me about God. We were in a plane. And I said, just grab a pen and paper and ask and see what happens. And he had like a paragraph. And I said, did that answer your question? He's like, yeah, it was perfect. So it was amazing to see what happens when someone is raised without that separation of God, that God aspect is just who we are, and we go out looking for it, and it's right here. And I had, it was a privilege to unconsciously, because I was just moving through it. All that was new to me. So I was just very naive and discovering it with him. And for him now, this is not a difficult thing. It's just doesn't he doesn't talk about it. It's just his thing. So I thought, oh, this is where we're all going. Like that the trajectory is that manifestation of the God aspect in us that we separated from, right? In however that happened, everybody can have their story, the universal story or the personal story. But that was one of the greatest gift for me in that experience was more about the gift that it did to Danny is opening him up in such an organic way to his own nature. So he won't be looking for it. And so that was a gift and a worthy gift, worthy of all that I went through. And then it just slowly manifested. So I thought, oh, well, I can't really walk around and do my work like I used to because I always thought I was going to go back to it. But I can do my body work, which was on the floor. So I started my body work is Chin song, and it's you use your elbow, your forearm, and your hands, and it starts in the belly. You can work on the whole body, but it's really great for blood flow in the belly. It was in China when people didn't have the money for doctors, so doctors would come and teach family how to help themselves with this modality called Chin song. So I loved it. I did it for 8 years prior. And so I thought, oh, I'll go back to that. So I had a client came on the floor, thought I was going to dig my elbow in his belly and start my work, and my hands went up. And I could feel energy like it was thick like water. And I remember thinking, because I was quite arrogant prior to all this in my own little ways. And if I had a massage and I would say to people, they would say to me, let me just do a little Reiki before we start. I'd be like, no, no, I don't want a little Reiki. Just give me a massage. So that was my behavior, right, toward Reiki. So when I felt that, I recognized it and I thought, holy shit, I'm freaking, this is Reiki. No. So I tried to go back to what I knew, didn't, went up, surrendered, started doing that to the people close to me. And, because I didn't study it, again, it's another state of surrender. I I'm not in charge, and I'm just again the conduit, I'm the spokesperson, and I just sort of allow it to happen. And those energies, and as you and you know that as you allow these energy, you soak in it. It's like a warm bath. The longer you soak in a warm bath, the more relaxed and at peace you become. That's what happened to me, soaking with these energies. It just changed my life in a very subtle, slow way. There was a lot of downloads and downloads. I don't know what your audience is, but it's just sort of some kind of knowing. You have a sense of it. For me, it comes when people sincerely ask, or if they're sincerely open to expansion. I'm not in charge of it again. And so it's not like I sit and I channel for people. It's in my conversations. I will feel the change of energy and the quality of the answers and the insights. So, like my best friend, right? Like the best friend you can have. So, these aspects made it so that by the time I was back on my feet, even though I love doing all of it and it serves me, because I have this background of knowledge, um, my life guided me to eventually doing my temple where I do healing work and the harmonic egg, um, which I got a few years after I started the healing work, which is a light sound modality. We can talk about it because I want to stop so you can ask me questions. I'm so sorry. Um, I'm not very good at short answers.
Fascinated. No, it's really interesting, from the beginning when you talk about your son and the gift you gave him, I think it's very great. It's
Yeah,
really
it's the
great
best.
to give
It's the
that to your
best.
kids. I'm trying also to teach my kids how to meditate every day and how to speak to God every day because they will give you the
Yes.
answer. And what you say, the aspect of God in us, I really love that. And that reminds me what you said on your website when you said you have conversation with your angels. Is that what you mean?
Yes, I don't have, like, some people have very specific concept of what they're talking to. I don't have that. I have a very good friend of mine that has channeled for a very long time. I trust him. He's told me some of the energies that are around me, but it's not very relevant. At least it's not relevant to me. Um, and it does feel like it's like a big wide space. Whatever needs to come through will come through from whatever. It almost feels like from within again. For me, it's very deep within. It almost feels like being pregnant. So you know how you feel when you're pregnant? This life, this energy, and if you touch it and you look down and you like your heart opens and often you'll smile. It's just like, wow, this is crazy. Like for me, being pregnant was the best. I could have stayed pregnant for so long. Um, it's funny that my post pregnancy was so challenging, but being pregnant was amazing. I never got over creation of life. Like it always just baffled me. I just couldn't believe it. Um, so yeah, it feels like that, like this space that has a lot of wisdom and warms me up. So that's the energy that I attempt to share with the healing work and with the harmonic egg, which is this literally, this is an egg that has
Yeah.
sacred
So
geometry. Go
let's talk
ahead.
about that. What is it?
Yeah,
It's very fascinating.
it's so simple and so great. Yes, and so effective. So it's basically working on your fight or flight and rest and digest state, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So your sympathetic, reactive, fighting imaginary monsters that your brain is concocting situation, that what if and all that, and your rest and digest and heal basically, where you're calmer. They call it rest and digest because when you're calm, you can really process your food properly and your body can start healing itself. Your body is designed to heal itself 24/7. It's constantly taking care of you that way. But when you're stressed, um, you're in a inflammatory state. And when you're in calm, it's anti-inflammatory. It's the healing place. It's like the body saying, okay, she's done freaking me out with all these fake situations that will never happen. I can now take care of myself. So the egg is amazing as a central nervous system reset. And it's this big egg, and you walk in, and there's a big, comfortable chair that goes zero gravity. You can go as low as you want in your legs as well. But zero gravity is very soothing to your central nervous system, to your body. So, and there's a light, almost like a big moon, a light on the top and the bottom. And we pick the light for you according to the conversation we've had and what we've decided we wanted to work on. And we have hundreds of songs to pick from that are designed. It's healing songs that are created and designed for the egg. And just as a sidebar, I don't know if you're aware, or people are aware, that your organ sings. It emits a vibration, a sound, right? So sound is a very natural thing, a state that happens. So songs can direct their vibration, their sound towards certain organs, and certain organs will create the chemicals that create the certain emotions that you feel. So it's amazing the chemistry of what happens and how sound and light is an integrated part of how you function. So if you think about it, if you go outside, it's a bright sunny day and you hear the ocean and the birds and the wind in the trees, you can feel your state just calming down. If you come out of a high sky, like a high building in New York City, and it's raining, everybody's late, it's Monday morning, and you hear the beep, beep, people screaming in the cars, you are now in a sympathetic state. You are not calm. And that's basically what the egg can help you achieve, that beach, quiet, calm, like as if you were the best meditator ever. So I get, a lot of businessmen that meditation is just not their thing. It they can't help but come out in a very different state. So it does a lot of work for you with you. So you sit, you recline, we pick the light, and the light is reflected in that egg, and the light and the sound are moved 365-degree all around your body because of the sacred geometry. Because sound, like people that do sound work on stage and stuff, they know how you can really manipulate sound, how it comes out. So the egg does that. So there, and you spend 39 minutes, 40 minutes, and then you have a 10 minutes of quiet where you process, which goes so fast, and then you cooked, and I get you out.
To try this.
It's an amazing
It sounds
device.
really good.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's also great with people that are uncomfortable with other people. So some people won't want healing. Some people will not be comfortable with talking. And so they're in their own space. There's something quite profound and peaceful in feeling cajoled on your own.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna check in on this.
Yeah, I recommend it. There's a lot of them all over the United States.
When did that thing start exactly? Because I never heard about that before I started my training.
I don't know. I got mine, I think, 2014, and it had been around before that. So it's amazing.
I heard that one of my friends, she does the floating.
Yes, yes. It's like the floating without the water.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
she does the
float in
floating
light and
one.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
so
can get very specific, you know. You do a few sessions to make your body less reactive and more receptive. And then you can start honing in on whatever emotional trauma you have had, physical pain or aches, or if you're sick, like you can really support the body in a very specific manner.
okay, so I saw that you had the egg, and I saw that you had like a big gong with some
That's
sound
the
in
sound
it.
work. So I don't do sound healing as you do, but I use sound in my healing work. So what happens is, um, so I have all the bowls and crystal instruments and some shamanistic instruments. Again, because I don't do anything, I'm just a conduit. So I see when I step into the healing work, now that we know quantum science, people are more like we can understand the healing work. This is what I mean. We we are being told now that we are mostly space. We are barely physical. So quantums has shown us that we are barely solid. We are space. So if you think of yourself as space and vibration, energy, layers of energy, there is no boundary between your energy and the space around you, right? You just merge, you're just one with all that is. That's what being one with all that is. We are not physical. It's quite the illusion. And again, people can research that on when they go dive into quantum science. It was an amazing tool for me to explain all this once I heard that. It's like, oh, it makes so much sense what I'm doing. So basically, it's me energy, you energy, and the world, the powers that it's all of that vibrating, merging within each other.
Mhm.
But we have this illusion of separation, and you come to me to do healing work. But I'm just here to remind you that you are that and you have access to it all. You are that, I am that. That's that statement that we've heard from thousands of years. I am that, I am that. Correct. We are all one. We are all vibrational energy pulsating and merging within each other. That's why we do affect each other. That you don't have to be with me to be affected by my energy field. And now quantum is teaching us that. So when you come for healing and the sound around me, sound creates energy fields and affects us. Like I said, the light affects us, the sound of the bird, the trees, the wind, it affects us. The crystal instruments affects us. It's all energy, vibration. And so I just step in and I just step out, basically. My body will step in. My goal is to disappear. And what I allow, what I facilitate, and I believe all healers do that, is your conversation with God. And just for a while, I'll be there to facilitate it, simply because I am saying yes. I am saying yes. I know this, and I'm stepping into that function by the grace of God, because obviously, as you now know, I didn't choose it. I didn't go to school. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And of course, we all do it. We emanate, and we, with our emotions and our thoughts, manipulate these energies unconsciously. The goal is to be more conscious about it. So we're more specific on the creation that we want to put out there, right? So the energy work is, that's all it is. I'm there, I'm the conduit, I'm the bridge between your conversation, you and God. And the work happens through me, but it's almost false to even say that. When you really get the concept, you realize all of it is always happening. This is why part of the conversation I have with people, like I'm starting to say now on podcasts, I love all these trips to Peru and Egypt and all these amazing moments. Yes, I love it, but it's amazing because concentrated areas where you can feel those energy and you hear the history, and it's amazing way to step into it, to step in to it, right? So the energy seems to come from the outside, and it puts you in touch with the inside. But I tell people, my goal is to remind you that you don't have to go anywhere. It's not out there. Egypt is here. And
I think I'm
it's,
still there.
yes, well, it's with you. If it connected you to that energy field, then you were always in Egypt, and you will always be in Egypt. It's it's our constructs
So,
that makes us feel like we have, in order to feel a certain way, I will go there and I will now be moved by it. The truth is, it is here. And if that construct dissipated and you could just sink into that, that's what happened to me that night when I started shaking.
yeah.
Is my ego, my construct, my concepts kind of disappeared, and I was now allowed to wake up and feel and embody all that more consciously.
So when you say that you come in the healing session, so your body is there, and after you step out, do you still
Meaning that my brain is out of the way. I don't know what I'm doing.
do you play the instrument for
Yes,
for
the instruments
okay.
are all around my temple. So often I'll be told which instruments will be needed. So I open those. My guidance will tell me. And I'll use the sounds to emphasize a vibration when needed. Again, I don't choose when it's needed. It does. You, the individual, and God decides. And I'll just provide.
Do
And
you
it
do group session or is it individual?
I can do group sessions and I do individual. I do it all. I don't do more than 8 on my own. And it's different. And I use the egg. Sometimes I'll do like on Saturday, let's say I have a group of 8. I'll see one individual on the hour every hour to do an egg and to have a conversation, to meet. And then on Sunday, we all get together. I have those big wafts, those tools that help me so much, that they have a bigger version that's very meditative that you can lay on. So people lay on that. And I have my instruments. It's very simple. And I use the instrument and I do the healing work. And then we have a lovely conversation after. And that's it. And those are the tools that I have. That's what I provide. And my goal is hopefully to help you sink into that field, to help you feel it, be more conscious of it, to know that you can ask for the help. You can provide these sensory moments, right? Where going to Egypt, you probably had moments of like, wow, or you
Oh,
have a sense, right? You can sit at home and you can have that. This is who you are. That is who you are. It's us. We get in the way. And I think that's what that moment provided me on the floor over there, right? It provided me with a big glimpse of what can happen when I step out of the way.
I need to Google what you talked about. WAF. I cannot see. I can vision.
It's WAFF. It's like a big inflated. It looks like something you would put in the pool to float.
Oh, okay. That's the one on the website. Okay, I saw that.
Yes, but it's designed in a specific way that basically it's like what's the word? It's when you react to your breath, basically it reacts to your breath in a super subtle way. So it's very like biofeedback. So you don't feel like every time you breathe, but it's very subtle, but it reacts to your breath. You can also move them to rock you in a specific way if I want. And that, might help you relax and let go or feel if you need to feel. So it's all about allowing you to let go. It's, you know, nothing new, thousands and thousands of years, right? I'm just another one that is stepping into that space, representing that space to the best of my ability, and I continue to grow. But I'm spoiled because stepping into that space is a constant reminder because it's repetition, right? So it's a constant reminder of allowing that space to become more and more real. In a way, in a simple way, is being in your parasympathetic more often than your sympathetic, so that when you have hurts and challenges and situations and people that are difficult, that your reflex, your default will be more the parasympathetic as opposed to the sympathetic, which means your response will be different, which means that the response from the individual or the situation will be different and the outcome might be better. That's how we create our reality, right? So one person at a time, starting with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we are such a constant stimulation,
Yeah.
state. Um, for people who will do come to see you, do the healing session on the egg, after when they're done, when they're going home, do you have any practice they can recommend to?
I always too, sorry, I cut you off.
So, no, so anything you recommend for them to continue to cultivate their peace in their alignment?
Yeah, I think I'm not an original when it comes to all this. Um, Two things. I tell them don't forget what being inside the egg looked like, what it felt like. Have a nice imprint so that at night you can close your eyes and remember that, so that you can bring the egg with you. Um, you can also do, distance healing session, but I like, again, it's trying to incorporate how you create that. You can create that. So bring the egg with you at night, and then breath. We definitely work on a little bit of heart math kind of breathing with your hands on your heart and on your belly, and deep breath. And the outer breath is longer than an inner breath. But in the beginning, I don't even care, how you breathe. Just breathe. Just feel where you're at, your state. Is there stress? Do you feel your throat tight? Is your stomach tight? Your shoulders high? Like just have a sense of where you are as you breathe. Watch how things will relax and change. And there may be emotions that that you were holding on and the body was helping you hold on to. The egg is really a space where you open up. So there may be emotions, and very often when the emotions are not indulged with the mind, meaning when you feel sadness and you don't let the mind hijack the emotion. Oh, yeah, if he had done that and it's because he said that, and that's the mind hijacking the emotions, and it makes it last forever because you're recycling it, whatever emotion that is. If you can say not now, that's another thing I say, not now, meaning don't scare the ego, don't tell it never. Say not now and just sit with the emotions. You'll notice that the emotions dissipates faster. It moves to the body and it moves out. And that's the goal. It's that we will go through things. The goal is, can we not hold on to it? Can we trust that you are strong enough, that your body, your psyche, your heart, more than capable of moving through the emotions and letting it go? And then if you want to bring the mind back afterward. But when it doesn't hijack the emotion, it allows the emotions to be healing. And in it, often you'll have a little If you do that enough, it's like having your own therapist. It will bring some information will rise. Oh, it will just come the next day, the day after, whenever, or in the moment. Because now you're not running away from the feelings and the emotion, from the emotions which had information in it. If you don't want to feel and look and allow, you're also not allowing yourself to see the information. But if you just say, I'm just going to feel this, I'm not going to judge it, try to figure it out, fix it, attack imaginary people in my head, I'll just feel it, right? We're so good at that. It moves through fast, it has a healing effect, and information comes through it. So that's the heart of what I'm hoping to get better and better at providing.
Yeah, and when you hold on to those feelings too much, right, it just makes you sick. I know this. It makes you physically sick.
Exactly, that's the outcome.
Acknowledge it, take care of it, and then yeah, move on.
Yes.
It will make you sick.
Yeah, and I've done that.
I've done it too.
I could start another business. I'm so good at it. I could start another business just helping you be even better at it. And they tell
Oh, and I think that's one of the things that brought me to this, to meditation, and because I was so good at it. So, thinking how
yeah,
I wanna.
me too. Like, yeah, I see people at 20 going through stuff and waking up and I was when this event happened and a lot of shit had to happen before that. And then I feel like a very stubborn, slow brain sizzle even from then. Like I am not like I was stubborn. It took me forever. I'm still moving through it, right? I am no, masters, but I am getting better and better and better. Peace is more and more real in my life. All these things, the quality of your life changes.
And you're located in Malibu for people wants to connect with you.
Yes. Well, Los Angeles, Malibu, yeah.
You're in Malibu. Okay. Anything you want to add
Yeah.
before we go, or something I didn't ask?
Um, no, this was interesting. This was very interesting. I really enjoyed how you can ask a question and let it evolve. And you're a great listener. Um, I bet you're really good at sound work. Um, yes, 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 for
Well,
sure.
I love your story. I mean, that egg thing really fascinates me. So it was easy to listen to.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Yeah. And if you want to check the egg, on my website, authenticitystressless.com, you can go there. And if you scroll, you'll have a little video so you can really see what it's like stepping in and it's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the picture, but I didn't see the video, so I'm gonna look and check.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. I'm very grateful for Gail who created it. It's been blooming and it's popping up a little bit everywhere. And I think that's amazing. As many other tools, right? The field is really expanding right now, which is great. I mean, I just found out a while back that New York has, they do sound work on broken bones to help the healing. That's at the New York hospital. So that's when you know something is shifting and those modalities will become more and more part of what we do to help ourselves. Yeah.
I saw a video in Asia. They were doing sound healing from the crystal ball to preemie babies.
Oh, oh,
And
yes.
playing around for the little babies. I was like, oh, this is so cute.
Yes. What a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
it's one of
idea.
the reasons why I like the egg. Huh?
It was a good idea.
It's a great idea. It makes so much sense now that I'm being told. I was going to say the beautiful thing about the egg too is that I'm very sensitive to EMF and 5G and all these things. That is just pure wood, not treated. Um, Beautiful radio system, right? It is nothing. So I can have newborn babies. I can have sick people going through chemo. I can have animals. Because it's such a simple device, I'm not afraid to use it on pregnant women, like anybody. It's basically light and sound, so that you can't go wrong. So that's another aspect of it that I like very much.
Okay, that's good to know. Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I will put all information in the show notes. People
Thank you very much, my dear.
Thank you for coming. Maybe I will have you another time. It was a good conversation. Why not?
Maybe I'll have you here
Oh, yes, yes, in Los Angeles. Yes.
if you ever visit. Let
Uh-huh.
me treat you. Yes.
Yes, yes. I will keep your information. Don't worry.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I wish you like all the grace in the world for your sound work.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just starting in the business, and so far it's okay. Yeah, it's a bit quiet during December, but yeah, I love doing it. I'm
That's
just,
all that matters.
yes,
Yes.
I just love it.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you, Isabelle.
You're so very welcome. Thank you.